Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Pete Gottschalk here. Videographer for Major League Baseball, sports videographer, vlogger. If you're new here, I really try it all on this channel, and today I wanted to give y'all a little short tutorial, very brief video. I do get asked a lot of technical questions, a lot of career-based questions, but today I want to go through and break down my individual shots from opening weekend of Major League Baseball season 2022, because I have answered job questions, I have answered technical questions, and I've never really explained how to shoot in certain situations. So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. What is up? Welcome back. Pete here. As you guys can see, I have my Finder window open to my opening day folder. There's a lot in here. This is every clip that I kept. There's probably a little more than a normal game, keep in mind. As you can see, there's little clips tagged in red, and these are the ones I want to break down with y'all today. And I'm also gonna break down the Sunday day game against Cincinnati as well. Also, a side note, these shots are shot for the most part on a Canon C70, and then also a Sony A7 III. But let's start with this Truist Scenic 7. So this is just a 4K slow motion 120 shot. A scenic shot is essential to setting up any location or ball game or edit. I would recommend, if you're shooting anything, go and get a scenic shot first. If we go through this clip, I start here with something in the foreground. That's important. Whenever you're shooting anything, this goes for game action, landscapes. Adding anything in the foreground is gonna add depth to your shot, your photo, whatever it is. The shallower the depth of field, the more that depth will be noticeable. Another thing is when I'm shooting a landscape, a big environment like this, when you have the scoreboard, the building, the field, everything here, you want it all to be in focus. So I probably have, I have my f-stop here at around f7, and that'll allow everything to be in focus. Nothing will be back focused, and this movement here, any movement in a shot is going to make it more interesting. I mean, if we just let this play, it's a nice, simple scene setting shot, something the Braves can use, something MLB can use. Second clip I want to break down is this Molly K, and this is a really simple one. It's really kind of a general rule for shooting sports or really anything in general. If we play this back, this is the Cincinnati Reds starting pitcher from opening day. You can see he gets a strikeout here, and then he does his little K walk behind the mound. Let it play out, let it breathe. See, and we even get him going up into the next batter onto the mound. That is an important rule just for you young videographers. Let everything breathe. Don't cut it off early. Let everything roll 5 to 10 seconds longer than you think it needs. Now, obviously, certain situations won't allow you to do this, but try that generally. Our next clip is a Max Fried slow motion, tight shot in 4K. Here we go. We're gonna start at his feet. And this is just a simple rule for you young videographers. Movement is going to add anything to shots. And make sure you try and shoot tighter sometimes, and also shoot wider sometimes. This is a tight shot. I get a pan of him right before he goes into his delivery, and then I try and keep him in frame. It's kind of hard with pitching to keep him in the center of the frame because they move their torso so much. Now, if we see this player cross here, the base runner, sometimes if you're on autofocus, the autofocus will catch that and make Max go in and out of focus really quick. You don't want that. You don't want that. Be on manual focus. The earlier you try and learn, the easier it's gonna be. And the more reps you get, the better you're gonna be at rolling focus. Use peaking if you haven't. Here is an Austin Riley home run. This is just a simple shot. Nothing special. If you notice here, if I play this audio for you, the audio is a little blown out at the top, and that's because my levels were not set low enough. I made a mistake here, and one thing you have to consider is in a loud stadium, you're gonna get really quiet lulls of noise and really loud ones when 45,000 people are going loud or are cheering. Make sure you set your audio levels low so you're able to capture that high range of audio. I usually do that pretty fine, but I'm pretty sure I just turned these up a little too high for this clip. Let's go into our Sunday day game. A couple clips here. The first one we are on a Ronin for in 4K 24, and the Reds had a pitcher debuting named Hunter Green, and it was his MLB debut. That was a very important moment for me to capture. I love those type of moments, and that was our priority on the day. We were let known by MLB, so I wanted to get a shot of him exiting the dugout and going to warm up. As you can see, I am on the Ronin here, Now he comes into focus. I'm actually in manual focus here because I didn't want the autofocus to mess with me. I didn't want the autofocus to kind of me over in a sense. Because when I'm on a Ronin, I like to be on autofocus because obviously I can't roll focus. But sometimes when I want the assured shot, I put the f-stop up a little higher by 6.3 or 7 just to make sure I get the subject in focus because I don't trust autofocus all the time. So here I'm at f6, ISO probably 100, and I had a little rollable ND filter on my Sony. Pan around him, add some movement, and there we go. Great little shot for pregame. The Reds tweeted out, I do believe. And this is a similar concept, although I'm in slow motion for this. I'm in about the same settings. I'm a little close. I'm closer to the subject. You see, we're not getting like a super blurry background. If we were on a lower f-stop, we would be getting that. But I just wanted this to be in focus. So I was, again, at probably f7, f5, 6, something like that. The higher your f-stop, the more is going to be in focus. When you take a landscape photo, you're going to want your f-stop to be at like 8 or 9 or 10, you know. You can even go f22 if you want, but make sure there's no dust on your sensor. Now, okay, this is one of my favorite shots from the opening weekend. This is an Ozzy Albies B-roll shot, and instead of recording game action sometimes, it is really important to get kind of ISO or celeb shots of your players or your athletes or your subjects kind of in between pitches or in between snaps. Make sure you get those, like if it's a cornerback lining up against a receiver, get those moments too, because that is great filler in between plays, and they serve as great transition shots. Now this is just the fans in the background. I believe I'm at f2.8 here. It's in 4K 120 slow motion, and this is where you gotta practice your manual focus. You can see I'm on the crowd, and then I rack to Ozzy as he's getting ready for the pitch. And I really like that shot. I like all the fans in the background. I like how full it is. I like the compression. The more zoomed in you are, the more compression there's gonna be, which compression, if you don't know, is like there's less, it feels like there's less distance between the foreground and the background. Now, this next shot is just a shot specific probably to baseball and maybe football. It's a tracking shot, so like Hunter Green, the Reds pitcher, throws the ball and I try and get a quick whip pan of the ball still in frame. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you wanna get the pitch and then you wanna get the catch kind of in focus. So here we go. People always ask me how I get this shot. There we go. I believe I'm at f3.2 there, or f3.5. Let it breathe, let it breathe. And there you go. That shot is basically a bunch of practice. When the pitcher is about to throw the ball, I start moving ever so slightly just to get that easy transition, and then it just as the ball's thrown. And you gotta just, sometimes it might take a couple times. Maybe don't go on f2.5 or f2.8. Make sure you're at f4 maybe if you really want to get it in focus, or f3.2. It's really up to you, but that shot right there takes a lot of reps, and it's not perfect. We all mess up. So this shot, this next shot, and this last shot is one of my favorites from opening weekend as well. Sometimes as a young videographer, to you guys, to you gals, make sure you mix up your composition. Make sure sometimes you're getting the full body shot of the pitcher or the player, whoever it is. And sometimes just go torso up, or go on their details, on their gloves, on their helmet. Mix it up every once in a while. And here, I try and use a lot of negative space to isolate the subject. If we pause this here, as Hunter Green is about ready to deliver the pitch, you can see the shadow is making the top part of the image dark, and then the bottom is lit, obviously. And I just like that composition and how he's staring over his glove. Something satisfying like that, such as shadows, or look for symmetry. Those are great photos and videos too. Like I said, really quick video, really brief video. I just want to show y'all and break some of these shots down, because I figured I've never really done a video like this before, and I don't see that many of them. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below, and I will see y'all in the next video.